Geronimo's study, there is a loud pounding at the door. Geronimo is seated at his desk, looking at his accounting books. The books cover many years spent in the king's service, every entry attentively filled out by Geronimo's scrupulous hand.
See who knocked there.
He opens the front door. Revenge looms in the doorway. Geronimo squints. Revenge disappears. Puzzled, Geronimo closes the door. He turns and sees the painter, played by the actor who plays Revenge, seated at his easel and canvas on a stool in the middle of the room. The subject of his painting is not yet seen.
What painter, sir? Canst paint some comfort?
God bless you, sir.
What wouldst thou have, good fellow?
Justice, sir.
Oh, ambitious beggar. Wouldst thou have that that lives not in the world? Why, all the undealt with minds cannot buy an ounce of justice. 'Tis a jewel so inestimable. I tell thee, God hath engrossed all justice in his hands, and there is none but what comes from him.
Oh, then I see that God must right me for my murdered son.
How? Was thy son murdered?
Why, sir, no man did hold a son so dear.
What? Not as thine? That's a lie as massy as the earth. I had a son, whose least unvalued hair did weigh 1,000 of thy sons, and he was murdered.
Alas, sir, I had no more but he.
Nor I. But this same one of mine was worth a legion. But all is one. Thought wisely now. Was thy son murdered?
Aye, sir.
So was mine. How dost take it? Art thou not sometimes mad? Are there no tricks that come before thine eyes?
Oh, Lord, yes, sir.
Art a painter? Canst paint me a tear, or a wound, a groan, or a sigh? Canst paint me such a tree as this?
Very well, sir.
Nay, I pray mark me, sir, then so would I have you paint me this tree, this very tree. Canst paint a doleful cry?
Seemingly, sir.
Nay, it should cry, but all is well. Well, sir, paint me a youth, run through and through with villain swords hanging upon this tree. Canst thou draw a murderer?
I warrant you, sir, I have the pattern of the most notorious villains that ever lived in all Spain.
Oh, let them be worse, worse! Stretch thine art! Bring me forth in my shirt, with a torch in my hand, and with these words, "What noise is this who calls Geronimo?" May it be done?
Yes, sir.
Let the clouds scowl, make the moon dark, the stars extinct, the winds blowing, the bells tolling, the owls shrieking, the toads croaking, the minutes jeering, and the clock striking 12. And then at last, sir, starting, behold a man hanging, and tottering, as you know the wind will weave a man.
Angle on the painting, as the painter turns the easel to show Geronimo his work. It is a portrait of Lorenzo Balthazar and their dead accomplices, murdering Horatio.
And is this the end?
Oh no, there is no end. The end is death and madness.
Geronimo reaches for his sword, which hangs beside the door. He turns back, sword drawn, to slash the painting. But there is no painting, and no painter. He slashes at the air. Magistrate's cloakroom, interior day. Geronimo pulls off his cloak. The occupants of the court flee as he overturns the statue of justice and the plinths of great jurists. He turns, and the silent old man, played by Revenge, is there.
Now I know thee. Thou art the lively image of my grief. Within thy face my sorrows I may see. Thy eyes are gummed with tears, thy cheeks are wan, thy forehead troubled, and thy muttering lips murmur sad words abruptly broken off. By force of windy sighs thy spirit breathes, and all this sorrow rises for thy son, and self-same sorrow feel I for my son.
Geronimo yanks off his chain of office, and turns to exit, throwing it away as he goes. The courtyard of Castile's palace, Balthazar, in military uniform, decorations and breastplate, awaits the arrival of Bel Imperia. He holds a posy. Lorenzo escorts her down the stairs to meet her suitor. Balthazar thrusts the flowers upon her. Bel Imperia accepts them, gritting her teeth. They sit down, facing a catwalk, surrounded by rows of chairs and tables. Servants and guards usher other distinguished guests to their places. There's a bouncy castle and a raffle in progress. angle on the king in Castile, smoking cigars, standing before a huge floral display of Spain and Portugal as the Viceroy of Portugal and his entourage enter, followed by news crews.
And now to meet the Portuguese, for, as now we are, sometimes with these kings and commanders of the Western Indies. Welcome, brave Viceroy, to the court of Spain.
And welcome all his honourable train.
Renowned King, I come to solemnize the marriage of thy beloved niece, fair Valimperia, with my Balthazar. With thee, my son, since whom I live to see, take this my crown. I give it her and thee.
Applause. Balthazar drags Valimperia over, and the Viceroy embraces them both.
Now, let me live a solitary life in ceaseless prayers.
Come, worthy Viceroy, and accompany thy friend. A place more private fits this princely mood.
Or here, or where your highness thinks is good.
They all sit down to watch the fashion show. Lorenzo tries to join them, but is intercepted by his father, Castile.
Nay, stay, Lorenzo. Let me talk with you. Seest thou the entertainment of these kings?
I do, my lord, and joy to see the same.
And knowest thou why this meeting is?
For her, my lord, whom Balthazar doth love, and to confirm their promised marriage.
She is thy sister.
Valimperia, ay, my gracious lord, and this is the day that I have longed so happily to see.
Thou wouldst be loath that any fault of thine should intercept her in her happiness?
Heavens will not Lorenzo err so much.
Why then, Lorenzo, listen to my words. It is suspected and reported too that thou, Lorenzo, wrongst Hieronymo, and in his suits towards his majesty still keep him back and seek to prosecute.
I, my lord?
I tell thee so. Myself have heard it said, when to my sorrow I have been ashamed to answer for thee, though thou art my son. Lorenzo, knowest thou not the common love and kindness that Hieronymo hath won by his deserts within the court of Spain?
Aye.
Seest thou not the king, my brother's care on his behalf and to procure his health? Lorenzo, should thou thwart his passions, and he exclaimed against thee to the king, oh, what a scandal were it amongst these kings to hear Hieronymo exclaim on thee.
Father, it lies not in Lorenzo's power to stop the vulgar liberal of their tongues.
Tell me, and look you tell me truly too. Whence grows the ground of this report in court?
Damn. No man lives that long contented ill.
Myself have seen thee busily keep back him and his supplications from the king.
Because I pitied him in his distress, I held him thence with kind and courteous words, as free from malice to Hieronymo as to my soul, my lord.
Hieronymo, my son, mistakes thee then?
My gracious father, believe me, so he doth. But what's a silly man distracted mind thinking upon the murder of his son? Alas, how easy it is for him to err. But for his satisfaction and the world's, 'twere good, my lord, that Hieronymo and I were reconciled. If misconstrued, he misconstrued me.
Lorenzo, thou saidst, it shall be so.